Hello, this is Sherry Gallagher with Technicon Company, Incorporated, with a new set of videos addressing the implementation of ISO 13485 2016. You may have already seen the first video on Section 4 of the standard. This section is going to address Section 5 of the standard, Management Commitment and Planning. Management commitment is one of the hardest things to present objective evidence on an audit. In general, this comes from an overall impression of the organization. What an auditor is looking to find is how does management communicate the importance of meeting customer and regulatory requirements, and how do they communicate the responsibilities of the QMS to each employee. The quality policy and the quality objectives are communication tools as to the requirements of the quality management system and the expectations of management. An additional source of objective evidence of management commitment is the availability of resources. It is management's responsibility to ensure the tools, measuring devices, training, and materials are adequate to generate the expected results of each process. Resources are covered in Section 6 of ISO 13485. Suffice it to say, if an auditor sees an employee struggling to control or measure a process due to poor or missing equipment or measuring devices, the auditor is going to question management commitment. The quality policy is part of the communication process. An auditor is going to interview employees to hear their understanding of the quality policy. The employees may read the quality policy to the auditor, but it must also be understood by the employees. Management must distribute and communicate the quality policy as it is written, but they must also ensure the employees understand their contribution to the QMS. In addition to communicating the quality policy, management must regularly review the quality policy as to how well it represents management commitment. Most companies do this in the management review. The quality policy provides a framework for developing quality objectives. If a line in the policy is meeting customer requirements, quality objectives define how effective is the QMS at providing the expected result. Depending on regulatory agencies, management may also develop objectives related to meeting regulatory requirements. Quality objectives must be measurable. If the quality policy states we will meet or exceed customer requirements, the quality objectives would state the percentage of improvement in on-time delivery, for example, or a measurable improvement in customer satisfaction. The objectives would be numerical, not subjective. Quality objectives are both a planning and a communication tool. Internal communication often relates to performance and towards objectives. Quality objectives should be communicated at all functional levels. The person making the widget must understand how their work impacts the product quality. So the way the structure works is the quality policy may state, we will meet or exceed customer expectations. From that, a quality objective may be generated to improve our customer satisfaction rating by 1%. The employee working on the widget may be working from a known performance indicator, or KPI, to make sure that 100% of devices are tested and result in a known performance specification, because it was identified as a response on the survey that this expectation was not always being met. So this is how management commitment to meeting customer expectations is deployed to all functional levels. Now, a common tool used to communicate performance is an intercompany news network, or postings in key areas of the facility, such as at a time clock and the break room. Top management is responsible for communicating to the employees their impact on the performance of the QMS. Management is also responsible to define the responsibility and authority for each position. This is most commonly done with job descriptions and an organizational chart. Something to remember is an auditor will dig much deeper if they see quality reporting to manufacturing. It is very hard for the person who does the testing and the evaluating and approval of product to argue with the person who writes their review when the person who writes their review is responsible for creating the product, and their performance and raises are determined by the amount of product they sell. A key position in ISO 13485 is the management representative. The management representative position has been removed from ISO 9001-2015. However, the responsibilities have been distributed to other members of top management. The management representative in ISO 13485 can be any member of management, including the president of the company. The management representative ensures the QMS is documented and reports the performance of the QMS to the rest of the management team. Now, typically this is done in the management review. This does not mean that the management review is the management representative's dog and pony show. Every member of management should be contributing to the performance of the QMS. And so every member of management should be reporting in the management review. So that takes us into the most important tool for management to support and ensure the effectiveness of the quality management system, and that is the management review. If you look at the required inputs to the management review, you will see they follow the clauses of Section 8 of ISO 13485. Now, this is not just a happy coincidence, but a planned requirement. Section 8, Measurement, Analysis, and Improvement, is the checked act portion of the Deming cycle. Management is responsible for the improvement of the quality management system. The only way management can create improvement is if they have information as to the current performance so they know what to work on. Now I'm going to do a quick run through of all the subjects that will be covered in a lot more detail in the video on Section 8 of ISO 13485. So here are the bullet points that must be included in the input to the management review. Feedback. Feedback is positive feedback and suggestions for improvements from the customers, outsourced processes, and regulatory agencies. It's not complaints. Complaints have their own section and are negative feedback. The next topic to be covered is complaints or negative feedback, and they must be addressed. Complaints are different from corrective actions, and the measure should show what complaints were caused by the company, the customer, and the shipper. The next topic is reporting to regulatory authorities. This is talking about, have you had to go back to regulatory authorities with reports of where you fell down and it got out to the market? Have you had to go back to regulatory authorities and issue a recall? Next topic, audits. This used to be audit results, but it was changed to audits in the hopes of promoting more discussion on what was actually seen in the audits than just a summary of we had X number of findings and Y number of observations. Next topic is monitoring and measuring of processes, and it expects reporting on the effectiveness of the process to produce good product and relates back to the process approach. The following topic is monitoring and measuring of product, and it's different from monitoring and measuring of processes. It looks at the percentage of it doesn't look at the percentage of conforming versus non-conforming parts, but other applicable information such as durability and performance as opposed to just meeting specifications. Now when we had the topic of complaints, remember I said corrective action is a different topic. Now we talk about corrective actions. They may arise from complaints or from internal sources of information such as scrap rates, such as rework. Not all complaints will have a corrective action. I will tell you that I do have a pet peeve. When I get to the corrective action system and I see that there has been an issue and there is no corrective action taken to address the issue because the policy or the procedure states that nothing will be done until a trend is detected. Well, that makes me question an organization's commitment to meet customer requirements and regulatory requirements. If you're not going to look at it until it's failed 3 or 4 times, how is that showing improvement? And how is that benefiting your company or your customer? Moving on to the next topic, preventive actions. They should not be related to a complaint. Preventive actions are proactively identifying potential sources of nonconformances before they happen. Now, there's some audit findings or audit observations and opportunities to improve that can be considered as preventive actions. Okay, next topic, follow-up actions from previous management reviews. After seeing all the data, did management define an action, assign a responsibility, determine a time frame, and then make it happen? Subsequent management reviews always look at the previous management reviews to make sure that all of the great plans that they came up with actually did occur. Next topic, changes that could affect the quality management system. So I often get asked, what's that? Did you change locations? Did you make a significant change in management? Are there significantly new resources? If you have to revamp your quality management system because of the changes, that's a change that could affect the quality management system. Recommendations for improvement is a place where all of management makes suggestions on how to best apply resources to improve the quality management system. And finally, the last topic that you cover in the input to the management review is applicable new or revised regulatory requirements. Now, this is different from reporting to regulatory agencies because it's what's coming down from the people that regulate you. Now, we've done the input to the management review. Now it's time for the output. The review output must record all of the input data as well as decisions and actions identified in the management review. It must also include any improvement to the quality management system to achieve planned results. If in all of this reporting you find out you aren't doing what you expected, then what is the plans and the improvements that you're going to make so that you do meet what your expectations are? The output also must include changes to address changes in regulatory requirements. And it must identify any needed resources. There you have it. There is the planning and the management commitment of the quality management system as addressed in ISO 13485-2016. If you have any questions or need any help implementing the standard, please email us at technicon1986@sbcglobal.net, or you can go to our website, www.technicon.com, or call us at 708-814-3685. I hope you found this video helpful, and go out and have a great day.